Step number 5, using a meal planning spreadsheet. Now, this is a spreadsheet that I put together quite a while ago, and it's a spreadsheet that I've been using for a long time now, and it's responsible for pretty much most of the result, pretty much 90% of the body that I have now as a fitness model competitor. And I still use it. I still use meal planning spreadsheets all the time if I'm working towards something very specific. There are times when, because people think, oh, I have to meal plan like for the rest of my life. No, you don't need to meal plan for the rest of your life. It's only to guarantee hitting certain results, getting certain results. So if I want to lose body fat and maintain muscle, then I need to use a meal plan, or I use MyNetDiary and MyFitnessPal. I've used all sorts of different things in the past, but I find personally that meal planning spreadsheets is actually a lot easier, because when you're creating a meal plan with a spreadsheet, you can then go away and buy all the food, go to the kitchen, prep all the food, chop it up, store it, cook it, whatever, and then you have all your containers, and then you don't have to think about food. Whereas if you're using MyNetDiary, MyFitnessPal, I find that you become obsessed about it. You're always scanning barcodes, you're always putting in portion sizes, it's like everything you eat goes into your smartphone application. And I find that it's a lot of extra thinking involved. Whereas using a spreadsheet, you can sit down on a Sunday and you can spend an hour doing this, everything we've talked about so far in the series. Go, okay, so what do I enjoy the most? Okay, you can use MyNetDiary to look at portion sizes and go, this much protein, carbohydrate, fat, great, I can have this for breakfast, excellent, 5 meals a day, these portion sizes, I can have this with this with this. Then you go to Google, what recipes, okay, great, so I can eat that, what does it contain? And then hopefully you find a recipe. There's plenty of recipes out there which actually give you the macronutrient breakdown, so you don't have to go and reverse engineer it yourself. So there's an X recipe on the internet, so it contains this much protein, carbohydrate, and fat. I need 1 cup of this, half a cup of that, 3 tablespoons of this, boom, 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 boom. You take that recipe, you put it into your meal planning spreadsheet, and then you start filling out what snacks can I have? And then you go, okay, so when am I most likely going to feel hungry? And then you put in a snack in there. You might put in a high protein snack in there, because if you have a high protein snack, it's going to get rid of your hunger real quick. And you go, okay, so do I want 4 meals, 5 meals, 3 meals? How big do I want my salad, my portion size? And then you go, okay, great. Does this work around, all right, awesome. Does this work around my roster? Does it work around my night shift? Does it work around my getting the train on time or getting to work on time? Or I can have this meal before I go to work and this is for lunch and afternoon tea and breakfast and whatever. So it's going to take you a couple of hours to go through this process that I just went through real quick. You're going to put everything to a spreadsheet, and then you're going to go shopping. You're going to go, so how much of quinoa do I need? How much peanut butter do I need? How much tempeh do I need? How much soy product do I need? If you're taking soy products, you choose to take soy products. How much of these other things do I need? And then you'll come back and then you just look at the meal plan and go, okay, so I'm going to have, 2 days a week, I'm going to do my meal prep in the kitchen. I'm going to prep for the next couple of days in advance. I'm going to get all these containers and I'm going to chop things up and cook and prepare and weigh and all that kind of stuff. So you will need scales. You will need bathroom scales. You will need kitchen scales, and you may need measuring cups. You probably will need measuring cups, measuring spoons and that kind of thing, right? So you can measure everything out and weigh everything. And you might think I'm being really obsessive about this. It's really essential. Most people don't want to do this. And I know there's probably half the people watching this which probably won't. But those that do this will absolutely get results. I know this because I'm not sure if you can see those trophies in the background, but that's what we're talking about. When you are meal planning, you win literally competitions. It's how you guarantee results. Most people, they pull the plug, fight the current. They just hope for the best. They go, I'll just, have this protein powder and hope for the best. Or I'll just have, what do you say? Brown rice. That's a great idea. Actually, I'll get that. You'll go to a supplement store, you'll buy all this brown rice protein. and then you'll start consuming it, and then you won't measure it, or you won't keep track of it, and you'll start buying quinoa. You won't track how much you're eating. You'll buy some oats. You'll go, okay, so he did say oats on that list before. He did say oats contain X amount of protein, so you'll have your oats for breakfast, but then you won't measure it. You won't measure out the 40 grams or the 80 grams or the whatever. And he did say peanut butter, so I can just have peanut butter, right? You won't measure it. And all these other things that I've already mentioned about the foods you can eat, most people won't go and measure it, and those people won't get results. And that's really unfortunate, because the biggest takeaway from all of this is that you must weigh and measure everything. Because if you don't, this course has been a complete waste of your time. And I put a dramatic pause in there for a reason, because most people believe that it's all about food choices. That it's all about, well, you know what, Brad? As long as I'm eating all that stuff on that list before, chickpeas, lentils, quinoa, oats, rice, tempehs, if I eat all that food, then I'm gonna have this great body. No. You need to weigh it and measure it according to the macros that you calculated in step number 2. Step number 1 and step number 2, we talked about calculating your calories to meet your goal, and then calculating your macronutrient requirements, because they are also important. Remember, it's not just about calories in versus calories out. It's also about where you get those calories from. Whether you get it from protein, how much from protein, how much from carbs, how much from fat. That's really essential. You must weigh, measure, track, otherwise you will not win. And I know you're probably watching this going, well, I don't want to win a bodybuilding competition, or I don't care about fitness modeling. You don't have to care about it, but if you care about results, if you care about achieving the body of your dreams, you have to take this seriously. And this is the reason why I failed in this area of my life for so many years, because I thought in my head that it was all about food choices. That was the main reason why I went to vegan in the first place, because I thought that if I just avoid animal products, that I could absolutely have a great body. I could absolutely build muscle and have this great physique, have this six pack. The truth is that I didn't, because even though I was drinking a bucket load of soy milk and I was eating tofu chips every second day for lunch, and quinoa was my second name, and potato chickpea curries and lentil chickpea curries were my middle initial, I didn't have a great body to speak of. And the reason being was because I never monitored what I was eating. I was just eating potato chickpea curries because it tasted good, and I thought that as long as I was eating potato chickpea curries, that, I'd have a great body, and I didn't. I was healthy, but I didn't have a great body. I didn't have that body that most people watching this want. You can absolutely be healthy and you can be shredded being a vegan, but there's another piece to that puzzle most people miss out. It's not just about food choices, because food choices, everything I gave you on that list before, will guarantee that you'll be healthy, but will not guarantee that you'll be in shape. Because a lot of vegans out there which are healthy but are not in shape. And they eat raw vegan cheesecakes, peanut butter, almond butter, they have walnuts that are coming out of their butt. Like, to be sensitive to the issue, this is the truth. So I know I'm going on about this, but it's really important, because if I can spend 3, 4, 5 minutes telling you that it's not just about food choices, it's not just about everything on that list that I talked about, but it's about the quantities of how much protein, how much carbohydrate, how much fat you're getting every day, and that you're meeting your daily calorie targets. Like, if you can do both, pick the foods you enjoy the most from that list I gave you before, supplement the rest of your protein requirements from, pea protein, rice protein, while meeting your macronutrient targets, you are 95% ahead of the population. Like, you are 95% of meat eaters that are trying to have a great body. Like if you could pull this off, like it's not easy, but if you spend the time to do this, you can absolutely pull it off. And so what I'll do, I'll flick up on your screen right now. You'll see that there's a meal plan on your screen right now. Now, this is just a blank template. And what I suggest you do is you take a photo of this and you go back to your computer and you create this simple spreadsheet yourself on your laptop. Now, depending on what platform you're watching this on, I will link this spreadsheet as a downloadable item. So you can download it. If you're watching this on Amazon, unfortunately I can't do that because Amazon won't allow me to provide links. So all I can do is flash it up on your screen. You have to take a screenshot and you have to walk away and replicate this on your computer using Google Sheets or using Excel, Microsoft Excel. And it's very easy to create. Like this spreadsheet, I put some colors on it. There's not much else to it. If you can download this spreadsheet, it's actually on my website to download as well. You can also email me. I can send you this spreadsheet as well. But please use the spreadsheet. I use it. I practice what I preach. I get results from it. Yes, it does require work, but it's absolutely worth it. If you spend the time up front, do the work, you can absolutely get great results from doing this. You pick how many meals you want to eat. Like on that sample spreadsheet on your screen, there's I think 5 meals, like in terms of meal frequency. That's what I like. But if you only want 2 or 3 or 6 or 12, it's completely up to you, and you can modify the spreadsheet accordingly. And then in terms of your pre and post workout requirements, because that's on the spreadsheet as well, you would first and foremost, put in a bit of protein and carbohydrate as your pre-workout and have some post-workout there as well. So you have, just to give you a quick rundown on pre and post-workout for your training requirements, you would get 30 grams of protein with 30 grams of carbohydrate within 30 minutes of your training session. So you could have your rice protein powder or your pea protein powder within 30 minutes. You get 30 grams of rice or pea protein powder within 30 minutes of your training session. So 30 grams of that with 30 grams of carbohydrate before your workout. And then after you finish your workout, your training session, you would get 30 grams of pea or rice protein post-workout with about 50 to 70 grams of carbohydrate within about 30 minutes of finishing your training session. And so it's usually a high GI carbohydrate as well, high glycemic index carbohydrate. So do your best. So pre and post-workout requirements for your meal plan is where you would start first when you're designing a meal plan. So as I said, real quick, 30-30-30, I call it the 30-30-30 rule, 30 grams of protein with 30 grams of carbohydrate within 30 minutes of your training session. So 30 grams of pea protein or rice protein with 30 grams of carbohydrate within 30 minutes of your training session. Post-workout, as I said, real quick, 30-50-30, that's the rule of thumb. 30 grams of protein with 50 grams of carbohydrate within 30 minutes of finishing your training session. And then after that, you will figure out the rest of you'll design the rest of your meal plan according to the food that you enjoy the most, the portion sizes that you want. It's completely up to you. You have to make it work around your lifestyle. And whenever you get sick of something on that meal plan, you have every right to swap it out for something else, right? Just make sure you've got the list of columns there with macros and your total daily calories, which will come from what you've already calculated in the previous videos. So you're going to put those numbers into the spreadsheet as you see on your screen right now. So they're going to be your calorie targets. It's going to be your calorie target and your macro target. And then pretty much everything else falls in around those targets. In terms of how precise you need to be, you want to try and be within 100 calories of your target. So plus minus 100 calories of your target. In terms of how close should you be to your macros, you should be plus minus 5%. So you don't need to be exactly accurate, but just be as close as possible, without being fanatical about it. So I'll leave it at that. You have a lot of information to walk away with. It's a lot of information to take in. You might need to rewatch the video. I totally get it. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. My email is brad@seekfitlife.com. Watch the video again a few times because you watch it a few times, it might answer your questions as well. So if you need further assistance or clarity with your macro calculations, go back and watch those couple of videos where I show you how to calculate your macros around a specific goal. So whether you want to maximize fat loss or maximize muscle building, there's really only two major goals. You can do both simultaneously, but it's not as effective nor is it as efficient. You should really focus on one or the other to get maximum results from either or. Everybody wants to do everything all at once, right? I've been screwing around with this for years. Focus on one, then focus on the other. Most people watching this will focus on, maximizing fat loss, maintaining muscle. That way your macros will be focused on cutting, and they're the numbers you're going to be using in your meal plan. And then when you get to a certain point where you're not happy with the amount of muscle that you have in your frame, then you're going to go back to the video where I talk about bulking, and you're going to calculate a different set of numbers. And then you're going to put those numbers into your meal plan, and then you're going to do the whole thing all over again, creating a brand new meal plan around the foods you enjoy the most for building muscle. So I hope this was helpful. Super long video. I make no apologies. I got everything out I needed to. If you have any questions, reach out to me. My contact details are on your screen right now. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy. It is tough, but it's absolutely worth it. Stick it through and you will get results. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon.